friendly as Dash of Dave. He'll take some scraps and bits of this, turn them into something you can't miss. Junk journals, tapes, and crafts galore. He'll have you begging, show me more. Oh, Dash of Dave, oh, what a sight. Mixing colors, day and night.
Hi everyone, it's Dash of Dave here, and I am back for another crafty video. I am very excited. I can't show you anything yet, but I'm very excited. I'm sitting in my new look craft studio. It's slightly different to the way it was. Not huge changes, but significant changes. Can't show you because at the moment it's still in a bit of chaos. Once I'm done, you will get a full studio tour, and we'll talk about the things that I've done differently, the additions I've made. I'm very excited. But yeah, there's just a few things I need to finish off and put away, more to the point. I've just got to a point where I could just break, do some filming, and then I can get back on with it, and then you'll be able to see all of the changes, and I'm very excited to show you. So anyway, without further ado, today we are going to make a tunnel card, whatever you want to do with it. Now, I haven't glued mine together, so you could turn this into a book, so you could flip it as a page, or you could have it in a concertina style so that it's almost like a diorama. It gets deeper. I have chosen to just leave it like this because I'm not quite sure what I want to do with it. So this is the one this is my prototype, and we're going to make one together. And like, they're really easy, but they're a great way to use up all of those little bits that you have, especially my Tim Holtz people. You know, me and people who need people. Anyway, none of that, Dave. So it's a bit of a delve into imagination. You know, I feel like I feel like I'm going to burst into song, and it's what's the one from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Is it "Come with me and you'll see a world of pure imagination, something explanation or imagination"? I don't know. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. I don't know. It's something like that. Anyway. Shut up, we're not here for singing, are we? So, this is what I've made, okay, and what it's trying to do is draw you into finding the layers. So, like I say, you could turn it into a book, so I will flip it as though it was a book. So, this is the first page. Nothing on the back. That's because I still don't know what I want to do with it. I might cover it in paper, just paper in the back, and then cut out the aperture bit. And we've got this page, and then we've got this page, and this one, and as you can see, the aperture gets smaller and smaller. We've got this one, and we've got this one. Now, I've made a torn aperture before, and I'm not sure whether I've made a tunnel aperture, but we will make one together. So we're going to do the same sort of thing. I might actually make it so that the layers are a little bit bigger. The other thing it reminds me of is it Looney Tunes? Because didn't that have like a disappearing, a getting smaller aperture? Anyway, all right. Shut up, Dave. So what I've done is I've got some more papers this time. These are 8x8s, by the way, so just in case you wondered. I have got some that I thought might go together because they're kind of a bit on a theme. Okay, so what's that? That's 3. That's 7. Do we want to go 7? Should we go 8? No, let's go 7, otherwise we could be here all day making stuff, couldn't we? So what I did also is I made myself a little template. So this is an 8x8 piece of card. This is measured on the 4, so 4 across, 4 down, measured a line and put a hole in it, which means that I then didn't have to keep measuring each one of the pages. So I've kind of made myself a little jig. So the last page you don't put, well, I certainly didn't put a hole in, but you can. On that one, I made it from the bigger circle down to the smaller. I think I might do it the other way round this time, so I'm going to go smaller to larger. Whichever way round you want to do. I think I'm just going to go up in 1 inch increments this time. Now, the only problem is, because I am in the UK, this circle cutter, which is my preferred one of my circle cutters, this was the cheapest, and yet it's the best, only measures in centimetres, because we do metric as standard here. So put them down, we take our jig and we line that up, and then if we get a pokey tool and pokey the tool through the hole. So you just want it to go through all of the layers sufficiently so that you can see the hole in the page. There it is, and that means then I can put that in there and make sure it's locked, it is, and then make my circle. I'll just keep cutting round until the circle pops out, which it has. That's that one. Okay, that's my first layer. Now we're going to go up 1/2 inch from there. So we're going to go, that's 2. Oh no, what did we say? 1/2 inch from 1 1/4, wasn't it? 1 1/4 is there, which is that right? 1 1/4, is that going to be the right size? So just best to just check. Yeah, that's right. So then take my next layer. Round the wrong way. What is that doing? I don't know. Just wanted to be in frame, I think. So then that's going to go on here. Again, we're just going to lock it into place. Just make sure that we've got that 1 3/4. That is correct. Pop that on there, and then move those out of the way a minute. And then just, this is I find turning the page rather than this easier. I get much more accurate. It's not perfect, but it's more accurate. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's it's definitely got that ring to it, hasn't it? The Looney Tunes. That's all, folks. It's not all. Don't go. You've got to stay for the crazy. You came for the crazy. You've got to stay for the crazy. So now we're going to go 2 1/4. 2 1/4, which gives us another 1/2 inch. I don't know whether this is going to be right now. Am I going to run out of space? I might run out of space, you know. I might have had to do it smaller than that, the aperture. Oh well, we'll do as many layers as we can. That's what we'll do. Yeah, I am going to run out of space, so I should have done a step in between. 1 step between, not 1 step beyond. In that case then, what do we do? The first one was 1 1/4. So deciding your apertures is the biggest thing. 1 1/4. So, and then the next one was 1 3/4. So we should do something in between, really, shouldn't we? So 1 1/4, 1 3/4. So is that's 1/4 inch to there, 1/4 inch to there. So 1 1/2 should be the next one, and we'll put that page between this one, in between. It's my giddiness of wanting to show you the room has obviously made my brain stop functioning. Also, it could be the complete lack of sleep that I've had. So I've put some new wall units up. What's going on with this one? This is not cutting properly. not cutting? Why have we decided we're not going to cut anymore? Oh, because the hole in the middle has gone wonky. Right, can I rescue that? Let's see if it would be right if I did it anyway. Let's just cut that on there. Yeah, so I kept waking up during the night thinking that the things that I'd put on the wall were falling down, but it was just me being me. Is that right? If it would be, if it was in the middle. Right, okay, so what we need to do is we need to get another one of them or something else in between. Right. I was going to say lesson learnt, but I don't know whether it has been. Right, let's cut this one at that size. No, why we... Oh, blade's not sharp now. Never work with animals, children, or blades. Or Dave. Because it's all liable to go wrong. But you know me, I like to leave my my failings in just for you. Now, if you do get a wonky line like that, don't worry about your wonky lines, because remember you're gonna put layers on these anyway. Oh, actually, I quite like that, because you can see that bit of thing there. Yeah, that's fine. So that's those, and then we're going. I can't remember what that one was. That one was this. Whatever size that was. Sorry, I've got my own tunes in my head as well. Ink, stick, think, dash, all day. So that was 1 3/4. So the next increment is 2, which is there. So whilst the measurement is 2, the aperture will be 4. Oh, I can't use that one now because I don't want the same colour next, do we? So we'll use this. Just take your time this time, Dave. The blade's a little bit draggy, so because I think it needs changing, but I'm not going to change it now. That one, yes, nice. Let me just see if I can get another one of those. So I've got one. I just need to do the template on it. Just a hole in the middle. Pop that. Right, okay, so next we have 2 1/4, don't we? 2 1/4, is that right? Or have I just done 2 1/4? No, I think I just did 2, didn't I? Yeah. So then this one is the next one. Let's see if we can get this to cut. Oh, I think it's because this paper is a little bit more fibrous. Not hubris. What does hubris mean? I know what it means, but I just can't think. Do you know what I mean? Right, I have to just drag it first on the first. So these things tend to be. Sometimes they cut perfectly. If the paper's fibrous, they don't. You just have to go around a couple of times until you know you've cut it right through. But if you don't move it around too much, it will follow the same track again. It's when you start trying to fiddle around with it and you move it. There you go. Now it's done it. Now there we go. Cool. So that's that one. Yes, we have that. Yes, we have no bananas. We have no bananas today. And then, so that was 2 1/4, wasn't it? 2 1/4. So we go 2 1/2 this time, and that should be our apertures done and dusted. 2 1/4. sorry, 2.5, I mean, not 2 1/4. There we go, and then this one should cut fairly easy because it's a nice thick piece of card. So that's the bit that you just need, that's the only real maths that you have to do, is just the working out, do you have enough paper size for the holes that you want to cut out? Because, you know, you've got an 8-inch piece of card, you're not going to be able to cut out a 9-inch hole from it, because you'll just have lots of spare extra bits of paper falling around. It'd be like confetti. So there we go. That's come together quite nicely, hasn't it? That kind of aperture. So then this is the fun bit. So once we've done that, we can decide now, obviously, if we want to stick it together. Now, if you were sticking it together, maybe a tab spine would be perfect for you, or you might want to do like I'm going to do again, which is just leave it all separately. I find especially leaving it all separately to start with easier when you're trying to make a composition of what you want it to look like. Now, on this one, let's just get all my pages together. On this one, I started at the front and I worked back, but I also had the back in mind when I was making it. I wanted everybody to be seen, so I wanted you to be able to see the layers of people and a grouping on each layer to draw you into want to explore. I haven't gone for what's the word? Is it aspect ratio? So I haven't gone for, like, you know, people getting smaller as they go into the background, etc. I've just gone with what I liked and how I liked the look of it. You can do whatever you like. Remember, you don't have to use people. You could have words. You could have an inspiring disappearance of words into the background. When I've made the torn apertures, I've used a mixture of wildlife and quotes and that sort of thing. And that's, again, what I tried to do here, is a bit of a mixture whilst using some die cuts up. Now, the reason for that is, having moved things round, I've rediscovered, you know what happens? You go through the rediscovery stage, and sorry, I had to have a drink. And by rediscovery, I mean you'll find things that you never knew that you had, even though you bought them. Hopefully you were present when you bought them. You might have been out of your mind, who knows? Ha ha. Of course, you can then, by the way, find things to do with your circles. I will be revisiting mine at some stage in the future. I've got 2 of those, haven't I? Because we had a tearing issue. Oh, do you know what? I didn't realise that it. Oh no. Oh well. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me. Oh yeah, because that one. I thought that. Anyway, forget it. Right. So, what we're going to do is we're now going to think about a composition. So I have lots of people, the Tim Holtz people, and that was one of the big reasons for doing this, is to put together quite a few people that I could use. Because I do my own people now, so I make Kindred and Hoi Polloi, I have free access to all of these images, and so I don't need the Tim Holtzy ones anymore. I still like them, don't get me wrong, I just don't need them. So this was one of the things I was thinking, well, what can I do with them all? I don't use them as much as I used to. So this is what I was trying to do. So I'm going to work from these 2 in the background. So that was already decided prior to me coming on this video. We're going to look towards them, and we're going to put people, things in the frame as we go, as we work backwards from there. So like I say, last time I worked from the front to the back with the back in mind, hadn't decided what I wanted in the back. This time I know what I want in the back. Now that can change, and you are welcome to change and do whatever you wish. This time, because this one was more colourful, I'm going to go with more muted tones. So again, I'm going to use some of the things that Corrie sent me. because these die cut books are invaluable and I do really like them. Shame we don't get them in the UK, but you know, I'm sure that Corrie will send me some more. She has indicated she may, and that would be great if she did, but equally not an expectation. Yeah, so Corrie also has free access to my digitals because she is on my design team. So that's the way to get free access to people's digitals, is get on their design team. Now, I put a design team request out a while ago and I didn't get anybody interested in it. I was a bit disappointed, to be fair, but at the moment we're just sticking with Brian and Corrie as my design team, because they were the only ones that showed any interest, well, or re-interest. So Brian said he was still interested in being on my design team, so he's continuing. And Corrie said she would like to be, so I think I approached her actually. So if you can hear noisiness in the background, it's unfortunately we've got some antisocial behaviour, people driving up and down on motorbikes up and down the street, so unavoidable, I am afraid. What I like about these die cut things is there's a die cut inside this, what, you know, most people would just decide was just a piece of rubbish to throw away, but they absolutely used every bit of space, and you know, that's great, that's fantastic actually. I like that. It's good value for money and also not as much waste. So unlike my waste, I've got a very large waste. It's not as large as it used to be, but it's larger than it needs to be. Oh, the other exciting thing is I'm getting myself a monitor in here, which means that when I'm working on my digitals, I'll be able to use a bigger screen to be able to see them. I have an iPad that I work off, but sometimes when I zoom in, I can't quite see it all. So I'm going to have a screen that I can cast to, which means that I can see what I'm doing better. I've got some reconfiguration stuff going on. You'll love it when you see it. I'm hopeful that you will. The one thing I will be doing is this wall in front of me will be either painted or wallpapered in some kind of crazy maximalist wallpaper. I am definitely a maximalist. I've decided. Well, I've decided. You know, I must be. That's basically what I'm saying. I must be a maximalist. Oh, look at them. They've disappeared down the page. I'm trying to hide. So I think we're going to have them here. And I think they need to have some kind of something marvellous to sit on. So maybe, I don't know whether a word would be appropriate because we're not going to see the word. Maybe they could sit on a ticket. So this is the bit that I really enjoy, the composition of this. So when I'm composing it, I keep it all together. You can separate it, but I think it's easier for you then to decide what you want, where you want it. When it's together, then you can take it apart, and there's a lot of taking it apart, putting it back together, taking it apart, putting it back together, but that's all part of the fabulousness of it. So maybe we're going to have that up here, in which case then I think maybe a word at the top. So words and quotes are here. So now remember how these used to be over there? There's a bit of a sneak peek there that I've got some lucky is a state of mind that I've got a bit of a change around anyway. Need another drink. So that, okay. Now composition. Take your time over composition because it is about getting it how you like it. There's no rush, there's no, need to rush. We are crafters, we are not a production line. Do I want to put any of these in the picture? I don't know. Alouette, Jeanty, Alouette. I don't know why I'm singing that. Just am. We'll just go with that, shall we? So let's get that out of there and see. Now, sometimes I take things out and I think I'm going to use them in the picture and then I don't. So I think that might be a bit big to go elsewhere, but we might have it maybe down there. So decorating the first page. I don't want too much encroaching on the aperture, because remember we've got multiple layers that we're going to encroach on the aperture for width. Do we want a little? Oh, I was going to put a little pointy finger, but I think the little pointy finger is a bit little. I'm sure there's another pointy finger that's a bit bigger. Not on there. Right, we've got the pinky ones. We used the pinky ones last time. Let's see what else we've got. We've got this. Now this has got these kind of more rustic images in here as well. Not sure we want a butterfly. Let's maybe have that. Take that out of there. Take that look at the face, I can see you smile. I bet you couldn't wait to bring all of the sadness to my door. Oh, that's not a. It's not one of these. It's just got left in there. What do I want? Where do I want it? What do I want? And where? I don't know why I'm singing. Maybe it was a dare. Right, none of those. Okay, so maybe some more tickety things. Tickety boo. Right, okay, so maybe that's where we'll stick that down, and then we can do the other bits. That's what we'll do. I think this time I'm just going to put a little bit of ink around the. Well, I certainly will if I know where my Nessendorfer. Oh, that's that. It's finding things, you know, when like you're in a new. I was going to say in a new place. It's not a new place because I've been here before. But an updated situation. I think that's something to do with, I think situation kind of triggered something in my mind. You know me. You know how it happens. It just happens. We just go with it, don't we? Nobody mentioned Dave's crazy. So, and then we will ink around the edge of them as well, just because it'll help them blend into the background that they're on. Because the background is like a more, goldy, opulent, goldy colour. Don't you think gold always makes you feel? Well, I was going to say it makes you feel rich. I mean, it doesn't actually improve your wealth status. Oh, if you own gold, it would, but you know, the colour gold makes it feel more, I don't know, glamorous. Yes, I like them on there. I think they look good and punchy. Right, okay. When you're sticking it down, a couple of things. You either just have to take note of where they are, or the other thing you can do is put them where you want them. So I think we want him like that, and her like that. Yes. Hold them in place, flip it over, and then you can use a pencil and you can just put a line. You only want a really faint line, just so you know where to keep the glue on. So we need to keep the glue on this side, and it's just a bit of a tip so that you don't go gluing over the area that goes into, otherwise you'll just glue all of the layers together and then, well, that won't be fun, will it? So pop them there, put that like that, and they should be in roughly the right sort of place. You don't have to worry about the pencil mark. If it's not, you say it's not there, but it doesn't matter, it's there or thereabouts. So that's them. Let's get this. Now I think I want to just cut this down a little bit more. So I have some scissors, more scissors that I found. Some of these, the teeny tiny Tim Holtz ones. I'm just going to cut this clip down so you don't have as much white edge, and any white edge remaining I'll just ink away. They all suppose what they want to suppose when they sing Papa. Don't know why I've got Papa in my head. I think it was maybe to do with Snip Away, but I don't know why that would be any connection. It just is. We're just going with it. I don't question what goes in my head. The best of you don't either. I'm sure you all do this. Any person that spends any time with themselves will have spoken to themselves at least once, and then they'll have sung to themselves or questioned why they think like they think. But they do, and we just, go with it, don't we? Right, I'm going to pop that in there and pop out that hole. Oh, look at that. That was perfect. Bob on. Bob on perfect. Right, we'll just ink the edge of this, and you don't see there's some little tiny tabs where you've pulled it out, so the anchoring tabs on that page, you don't see them as much if you ink it down. Got a line of glue there. And stick it to the top, make it look like it's been clipped on, bulldog clipped on, and then we'll glue the back of this. Now this is all going on the page, so I don't have to worry about what is an overhang and what isn't. So that's going about there. And then we've got the scroll. So we're going to have the scroll. Do we want the scroll so that it's... don't want to completely obliterate that, unless that's completely glued down, in which case it's going to stay like that. No, it's fine. I've got it all. Right, let's do the inky edges of this one. Not as easy, obviously. So like I say, this just a great way to use up all of those little bits. Now another thing, those pet stickers that we all seem to have accumulated, those, the clear, I don't mean pet stickers as in dogs and cats, I mean the PET plastic stickers. Another way that you could use this is you could have it as like an aperture of like stained glass. So you could use multiple of those going back. Now, whilst you peel the back off to make them a sticker, you leave the back intact, and you don't peel them off the background, then you will get basically little transparencies that you can then glue and anchor how you like. And then that way then you can, where are we going to put in that word there? I'm going to put that like that. Okay. Yeah, so maybe we have Lucky's estate of mind slightly under the Yeah, it's like that. I think that's how we're going to have it. Right, okay. So I'm going to glue this bit down. Sorry, what I was saying was you could then just peel the back, not peel the back off at all and leave it intact, and then just stick down the bits that you want to stick down. Sorry for peeling it towards me, it's just easier for when I'm gluing stuff. Oh, except for I think I've glued over the window, so that's, you know, it happens. I've glued over the window. You just want to make sure that you rub that bit off, otherwise it'll glue to the page behind and then you won't be able to get them apart. So that bit's going down, this bit's sticking up. This bit is going behind that, so we'll just glue that. Glue it down like that, and then we'll pop this one on. Again, I'm just going to peel the back of this off. It's not as thick. I might just bit of an edge on that, not too much, just so it blends in a little. The background. I think when I do that, it helps it pop a bit more. I know that seems counterintuitive, but and it might not be the case. But in my mind, which we already know is a very weird and wonderful place, it feels like it does do exactly that. So we're going to have lucky as a state of mind, and we're going to have that just peeking over the top like that. Cool. Okay, so now we can glue that. Like so. Cool. Yes. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. Pick up these little pieces. Right then. So that's that. Oh, sorry for doing that, ladies. You've disappeared again. So maybe this is the opportunity to stick you guys down, so we don't keep losing you. So where do we want you? We want you to be right in the middle, so we can see you, like that. About there. Take these away for the moment. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip those up. Now I'm not going to ink them because they're in the right place, and also the background is quite light anyway. I can stick them like that, and then just peel this back a bit, and just glue the rest of them so they stay stuck down. Okay, I'll just peel that back a little bit. There's this one to do, back of this arm, these legs, and we'll just check that before we completely solidly glue it. Yeah, they're fine. Cool, yes, we like that indeed. Okay, so now, so we've done that front one. Let's have a think about this. So so this is the thing to do, is kind of take a snapshot in your head. Where are all these things lying now? Because what you don't want to do is put a layer on that you're not going to see because the front layer covers it. You're trying to draw the intrigue of somebody looking because there's multiple layers. So I think we need something sticking out on this layer from behind. So stuck to this layer, sticking out at this corner, because this bit hasn't been done. Okay, so what we're going to have, so shall we have, do we have a person? Put your person on, take it back. So like I say, there's a few flipping backwards and forwards. So do we have that person, or is there somebody else better waiting in the wings? Is there a grouping of people that would be better? No, I don't like the grouping of people, so we won't use the grouping of people. do we have the very austere woman? Because she looks right smug with her hands on her hips. It's not her that's austere, actually. There's another woman that's quite austere. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to have her sticking over this, because then when you go to flip it, it'll be jammed, wedged behind. So not her. The hat gets in the way. We could call her Hattie. We've got her. I mean, look, she looks quite glam, doesn't she? We could go with maybe her, and we could also have two, couldn't we? But I don't know whether we want two. Do we want two? We want that one on there and that one on there. Oh no. I don't think I'll want to go. We stick him there. No, we're going to have maybe. I think she's going to go on a different layer. I think we're going to stick with him on this layer. So let's just ink this, and then we'll embellish that layer. And this is just how you do it. You just make this nice little composition as you go, and it's a bit of a leisurely craft. It's not something you're necessarily going to want to rush. But you can get it looking just the way you want it. Just the way it is. Do-do-do. Don't go changing, trying to please me. You never let me down before. That's all the songs today, isn't it? So, like so. Like that. And then, sorry if you can hear banging in the background, Brian is here, so like he was rushed upstairs and closed the door. So people, they forget that I'm filming, which is fair enough. Doesn't happen in everybody's household, I guess. So we've got that. So what else do we want? We want something over here stuck to this layer that isn't going to be too intrusive on the next layer. So we're going to have a think about that. So maybe we have something from the collection. From the collection? A little something from the collection. I don't know what that is, but it's gold. I'm not normally drawn to gold. You know what? I'm feeling inspired by the backgrounds, I think. I don't want it to look like anybody's been harpooned, though. Although that does kind of emphasise her. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick that down, because I like that. Remember, you don't want to have too much going on, because if you have too much going on, you are going to A, bulk it out, and B, it'll get too much. There'll be too many things going on, and it'll actually detract rather than attract. Just go up a little bit so that she's more fully in frame. Well, it's more fully framing her. Yeah, that's fine. So that, just make sure I haven't glued over the edge. Have a little bit, so that. And obviously you can then decorate the pages themselves, but get the apertures how you want them, then that'll indicate to you how you're going to do the layers. So I'm going to do the next layer now. Okay, so we've got something here. So I want something now kind of either, so let's come to this side. We've done something this side on the, so we've gone this side, and then back to this side. So we want something kind of here now, and that's on this green layer. So something around here. So do we want her, for instance? Is that where she might fit? Yeah, so she looks quite good there. She might want to go a little bit further over. Well, I don't know. She might not want to go a bit further over, but I wanted to go a little bit. I'm directing this movie, all right? So she's going to go there. Right, okay, I'm happy with her there. So again, it's just lift up your layers, take it away. Again, you could put a little pencil mark around it, or you could just put a little bit of glue underneath her so she stays where you put her. And then I didn't ink her this time, naughty, but nevertheless, done now, no going back. I could just ink her in the aperture, like so, just ink this top bit. So yeah, so it's again just shuffling. There's a lot of shuffling going on. I'll pull this back. Okay, so we want something on her layer that sits behind him now. So he sits kind of here. We want something on that layer that would be nice, that feels kind of in keeping. We don't want it to be too... I don't want it all to be gold. So whilst there's some gold bits in here, that's not what I want. Maybe a clock, because it's green. So if we put that... Oh, hang on. Let's just work out which way up this goes. Up. That's 10. That's 12. So there you go. That's the top, Dave. Well done for working that out. Gold star. Is that what I want? Right, so it's okay. It's not making me go, oh, perfect. Would a flower? No, it's getting too bright if I do that. So not that. Now I know that I don't have to use just these, but you know I want to. So I'll have a look through here first. Is there anything? Well, if we go with like maybe a jewel. Take these out. See what the jewel looks like. So move the clock. Maybe put a jewel in there. How does that look? Okay, prefer the jewel. Definitely prefer the jewel. Okay. So whilst I said I didn't want to go all gold, maybe I do. Maybe I'm lying to myself. Maybe I didn't love you quite as good as I could have. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I should have. We don't want me singing anything else, especially with this really deep voice. I don't always have a deep voice, but sometimes I do, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Right. Right, I'm just licking my finger, it's vile, I know. But it's only me touching it, nobody else is going to have to touch it. I'm just putting it so that I can compose it properly. The composition is there, so we're having that so that that line is on that line there, and it comes down here. Just pop that back on just to make sure. Pull it together. Yes, that's cool. Okay, so that's that and that. So we'll go to the next layer. So we've had something this side on. So we've gone this side, that side, this side. So we'll have something this side, or maybe, yeah, so we'll have something kind of here, right? It's about there. So, what do we want? Do we want another person? I guess another person would be good. I quite like the people going backwards. The people going backwards, like, you know, the people aren't going backwards, aren't they? So, do we want a fella sitting? And if we want him sitting, he needs to sit on something. So we were thinking about maybe here. Right. he's going to sit, I have to sit more there. If he's going to sit there, what's he going to sit on? So he needs to sit on a word, I guess. In which case we'll look for a word. Or a phrase, or a... I have some more, don't I? Let's get some of these out. What have we got? Trust your heart. The world needs who you were made to be. So he could sit on that, couldn't he? He could. I think he's going to. Let's just check. Trust your heart. Keep room in your heart for the... I quite like keep room in your heart for the unimaginable. Yeah, I think we're going to have that instead. I'm not keen on the huge spacing either side of it, so I think we're going to cut that off. Let's get some of the bigger scissors down. And I think I'm going to round it off on the corners, just to give it a bit of a difference. So just doing this, just because why not? We can. Tim might not agree with you, but I say do it. I know they're Tim Holtz's. Does this? Where do all the pieces go? Far, far away. Oh, there. Oh well, that's where they go. I didn't know whether you could get the back off, or it was one of those ones where you just, like, once it was full, you threw it away. But no, it's no. Although, little ploy, I could use my little toy with my little ploy. I don't know how big pieces it picks up. I bought treated myself to a little mini vacuum cleaner. So this, because you know I keep sweeping this onto the floor, and that when I when I was sorting the craft room out, it was like the place was covered in sand, but it was all these corners. So there's this. So it's a little vacuum, and it works great. I love it. So it's fab. So, you know, boys and their toys, you know what it's like. We all like it. Well, you know, it's not just boys and toys, is it? We all like a fun thing. But I would recommend one of them. It was from Amazon. If you want to buy one, I'll tell you what. If you want to buy one, putting this out there. I'm an Amazon associate, not an affiliate, because I haven't earned enough to be an affiliate. But I'm Amazon associate. I will put the link in the description. I have to tell you though, I get a small percentage of the sale if you buy that, and anything else that you put in your basket, I get a small percentage of the sale from. Doesn't cost you anything else, any extra. So if you want to buy it, if you want to buy one, and you want to help me out and support the channel, I'd be very grateful. But I love it. It's only, I don't know, £10. What's that about? $12, something like that. But yeah, like I say, I just love it because it's just so handy. And then you don't do that horrible thing like I seem to do every time, and that's just sweep it onto the floor. Whilst you have an intention of sweeping it into your hand, it never seems to go in your hand, or sometimes you just forget and don't. But yeah, so if you want to buy one, please use my link. That does help, and I do have to tell you that I get a percentage of the sale. Like I say, it doesn't cost you anything extra. It's just that I get a percentage. Amazon split some of the profits with me, and as you can imagine, they're not splitting a lot because they are Amazon. They don't share. They certainly don't like sharing. on. Where are we going? Right, let's just make sure that we're not too far over. I don't want it to be completely covered by a diamond. No, you're fine. You're going to be all right there, mate. Just want to sit on that. There we go. Cool. So that's going to go there. Okay, and I think then maybe something... Oh, you know what we haven't got? We haven't got anything from the top coming down. So on his layer, we'll have something from the top coming down. So again, just recentering these. That's a word. Like I say, I don't know how big it's okay. It's fairly decent size aperture. There's a bit of glue stuff in there, and it doesn't have a filter on it. It's not for cleaning up dust particles or anything like that. It's not for, and it's certainly not for doing your whole living room. But it'll definitely do something, fulfill a need somehow. So what should we have coming down from the top? We'll have something again appropriate. Be stupid to put something inappropriate on there, wouldn't it? Oh, is there a film strip thing there? Because I feel like it's almost like going to the movies. It's saying to me, it feels a bit, you know, I maybe it's because I'm thinking about Looney Tunes, although it's not really going to the movies, is it? No. But if there was, there's a film strip thing here, and I want to know where that is in here, unless I've already used it, because I think that would feel quite appropriate. Or is it just false advertising? It's just taunting me, telling me it's in there and it's not. I don't know, maybe I'm just overreacting. Oh no, it's that. Maybe I'm just overreacting. Really? Me? Never. Drama queen? Me? No. Drama llama? Not Bananarama. I can't think. Robert De Niro's waiting, talking Italian. I was thinking, I can't remember what Bananarama sang, but of course I do. And I can't think. I can't think how that goes. Oh dear, it'll come to me in a minute. Probably too late then. What's the one? Venus. Oh yeah, I like that. That looks cool on that layer. Right, and it needs to stay just there. Do not move. Do I draw it? No, I'll just glue either end. Venus. Can't really think how the Venus song goes, and I mean, like, you know, I'm a gay man. I know everything about Bananarama. I'm a gay man from the 80s. What, you know? How can I not know these things? Oh yes, this is looking amazing. I'll be honest. When I was putting this one together, I was thinking, do I have enough imagination for this? But you know what? I think I do, and maybe that sounds a little bit big-headed, but hey. Right, okay, so we've gone something here. We need something in this gap here. So we need something there. All right, okay, let's just... What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a pencil mark, because it's quite a light colour page anyway. I'm going to pencil mark where both of these things end, and then I know where the gap that I'm filling. Put that over there. What do we want in there? We could do somebody quite glamorous or distinguished or extinguished. They're on fire. No, not on fire. We've got a small version of them. We don't want them. Can't have them again. They'll be like, what? What? We've got. Oh no, she's a wedding person. A wedding person. A bride, Dave. That's what they're called. A wedding person is a bride. Well, a female wedding person is a bride, anyway. Maybe her, because she's quite glamorous, like she's going to the same venue. Because they all look quite smart, don't they? Do we want that there? Yeah, I quite like her there. Does she need to be higher? We don't want it to be too high. No, maybe. So maybe about there. Maybe a little bit further over. Tiny bit down. Fraction down there. That's where we need it to be. Right, we'll stick her on there. I'm just going to lift her legs up. Oh, no, we're not going to wink her. Because this is a white page, well, white background, and so she doesn't need to blend anything to blend her in, because she'll blend in anyway. But what we will do is we'll just ink the top part of her. Okay, so we do have, like I say, this is the one where it got a little bit jagged. So I'm just going to cut away this bit here where we had problems with the cutter. So I want to stick something here because that will. Is there any? I mean that because you can see it here. So anyway, let's stick something over there because that will cover that bit up. And also it will cover the gnarly edge of that. So I'll have something on here. What will be, what will be. I'm singing my own tunes now. You know, I write them and they're all hanging around in my head all the time. So they're my music. I'm not going to get copyright strikes for my own music, which is the best bit. Right, we don't want butterflies because it's not really the thing. So we won't use any from there. What's in here? Is there anything on here that's kind of inspiring me? We've used that. Maybe a ticket. Oh yeah, tickets would be good, wouldn't it? If it's a we could do with like a more of a like this kind of thing, a buff coloured ticket. So we'll have this partial stub. Let's take it out of the page that's already used, Dave. A partial stub, that. We've already used pink, so we might use. Do I want pink again? Because we've got pink from the jewel. Let's see what else we've got. We've got a darker colour pink in here. No, I don't like the one that just says ticket on it. So not that. I can't remember what I'm eliminated here. I've got that many piles of them. Have we got any? No, there's none on there. Are there any? No. There's some in here though, wasn't there? I think. Got a green one. Should we see what the green one looks like? Well, we're using green, aren't we? Actually, that probably could be a good idea. Whilst it says prize rather than you know, film mission. We could have Make today awesome. Awesome. Does that got any tickets on it? No, it hasn't. Right, okay, so let's go back to where we were. So which one does have tickets on? That does to a certain extent. Which was the other one I had? Oh, this. Got tickets in on that. Maybe we want, let's have a pink one to tie it all together. That one, okay. The other one I thought was too dark pink. And then if we have these as like a little collection, one and that as a collection, we can have them kind of just sticking out there. Right, okay, let's just ink around the edges of that. I haven't decided the composition of this yet, but we can put it down, see what it looks like, and then put the layers on top. So I was thinking if we have, right, we want something to cover up some of this. Right, maybe like that. Let's put those, line those back up again. So like I say, this is where you'll find yourself, what you'll find yourself doing all the time is layering them all back up again. Right, you don't see a huge amount of it, but do you need to? Can we pull it in a little bit more? So you do. Okay, yeah, so you do see some. We could do with something the other side as well, but that's fine. We can put something over here. Yeah, we're going to do that then. Just because I think that just covers up that bit of horrible edge that we didn't get cut properly. And then let's flip that over and just glue everything on that side of it. Remember to have fun when you're doing this, because this is the whole point of it. Oh yeah, I like that. That's cool. Okay, so we do need something this side, so let's also have something on that side on that layer. So we can have something, quite like it to be film related, but you know, it's not the be all and the end all. Maybe a column. There's a column in here, isn't there? Because, you know, I'm just thinking, you know, when you used to go to the cinema houses, old picture houses of yesteryear, they were quite opulent and they had columnums and everything. Yeah, quite like that actually. That's quite good. I know it looks like it's like going nowhere, but we can always put a word that it's standing on. So again, let's just ink that. I have to recompose it, not decompose it. Don't decompose it, Dave. So we're going to put it like it was something like that, I think. So you could just see the, yeah, like that. So we'll put a blob of ink, glue. Don't call it glue. Don't call it ink, Dave. It's glue. And then a blob of glue down the bottom. I do it all the time. I know I call it ink when it's glue and glue when it's ink, and I get a little bit confused. But you know, it is me. So here's your wings, heart and soul. None of those. They don't kind of feel like they say anything. Follow your heart. In my heart. Out of my heart. Out of my mind. Lost my marbles. Don't think that's what they say. Maybe they should. Maybe that's my next lot of words. Blessed are the curious. Oh, lucky as the state of mind comes up all the time. That's all I've got left in the other thing. Love with all your heart. Be brave with your life. I'm just thinking if adventure awaits. Maybe adventure awaits? Yes, adventure awaits feels appropriate. We'll peel the back off. There's too much white space either side, so we'll cut that down. It's not perfectly straight, but it will do. So we will put that so that that's got something anchored. It's anchored onto something. There we go. Right, okay. I'm loving how this is turning out. Absolutely loving this. So then we can, what we're on, which layer are we on? We're on the green layer. This layer. So we want something up here. So something there. And we want something here. So again, in that sort of area. So sort of around this sort of area. So we could do with well, let's have another person because then we've got consistency, haven't we? So let's find a person, a people. Some of these are so badly cut. I mean, like, he's had half of his face cut off. We've got her. We've nearly used her on another layer. She's not very glamorous. They're dressed up. No, none of them. We've got her. What's she look like? No, she's in a bit scruffy. She's a bit of a scruff. She could be one of the actors, though, couldn't she? So, got a ballerina, but she's again a bit scruffy. There's her. I don't know what's that on her head. I think it's supposed to be like a bow in her hair, but I think I might cut her down and then have her there. Yeah, I'm going to cut that bit off because I really don't know what it is. It's not defined enough to be a bow. So we'll cut that off. And then I think, again, she looks like she's leaning on something, so I'll have to give her something to lean on. Might be another word. A little bit between legs that we need to pop out. So we're going to have her there. Let's ink around the edge of her because it's a dark page that she's on. She's a bit more glamorous than her, so thinking that she's going to go there. Again, it looks like we're going to have a word to this side. But we can do that. Let's see what else we got in here. Oh, we've got more in here. Embrace the journey, remember the now. Found. Lost and found. Seen and note too big. Way too big. Way too big. Be brave. See the world. Thoughts and theories. Look, it's a state of mind. Again. Live in the moment. Maybe that. Live in the moment. Yeah, right, let's just make sure she's in the right place before I stick her down. Yeah, she is. Stick the bottom half of her down without moving her around too much, Dave. I'm not going to stick her arm her arm down, because I want to. I think I'm going to put her leaning on top of this. So she's going to have a hand, yes, like that. That's perfect. That's how we're going to have her. So maybe just a bit further over this way. Right. So we will glue this down. Bit more glue on the back of there because it's a bit fibrous and so more absorbing the grate. And then we'll stick just her arm on top of there to hold it down. Cool. And where else did we say? Oh, we need to have something above her head up here. So she's on the green layer. Alright, let's just put some of this away. Excuse me while I just tidy up a little. Right, we need to have, like I say, something up here. That's the only thing I think we need now. I love this. It feels like, old Hollywood style. I don't know what this was about, but we just go with it. We don't question it, Dave. It's just you're styling out your moves. Maybe we want something. Do we want some flowers, like a bunch of? Why won't those pages come apart? Oh, because they're glued together. Well, they're glued together by this tape on the end of here. Get off me. Get off. Do we want in a world of pure imagination? Explanation. If you want to view paradise, just look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. There's nothing to it. Is that nice or is it weird? I can't decide whether that's nice or weird. Nice or weird? Like, why is it just those? A choice of those two? I don't know, Dave. It is. Just is. If you want to view paradise, go ahead and view it. Anything you want to do. Again, it's stuck in my head. There's a film strip, but I don't think it's right for this. That didn't go, Dave. Right, I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to stick with that because I can't think of anything else. These are all too blue and we haven't really used any blue in it. And I don't want to blow it now. Blow it. No, forget it, Dave. Like, when you think you're funny and you're not? That's what happens when you think you're funny and you're not. Nothing else is making me go, oh. I know you're all throwing yourself at the page, but you're not helping. You are not helping. Do I want any of them? No, I don't. Not again. No, we're going to stick with the flowers. Oh no, well, some of you might say, oh, I quite like it. Other people might say, I don't like it. But, if you don't like it, do something different. You don't have to do what I do. Right. Do it your way. I did it my way, and now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. Oh, like the curtain in the on the stage. There we go. Oh my gosh, I love it. I do feel like it needs something here. That's the only thing. So maybe we need something else on that layer. But other than that, and maybe something more on this layer, but then, do I want it on this layer? No, maybe some more things on that layer. Right, okay, let's get more things on this layer. So we've got this. Do we have that? So that on there. That's not bad, is it? It's not terrible anyway. No, we don't want it to be, okay, so maybe like that. And then we could have something, again, maybe something pink, because we've got pink in the back. Maybe something pink florally. Maybe some blooms. I'd like a little bouquet. If that's okay, I'd like a bouquet. A bouquet? Not that, or that, or that, or that, or that. Maybe something from here. We've got bouquet there. That's not okay though. Maybe this. It's not a bouquet, it's a flower. Do you know what? I think that's right. Yeah, that's it. So we're going to stick this down. Now this is washi tape stuck to the backing of something. It's like it's got a peel off backing, but I'm not going to use it as washi tape. I'm going to leave it stuck to there, to the backing, and just glue this down as though it were just meant to be like glued as it is. And then we're going to put that on there. Oh, hello. Like that. And like that. I love that. I love that. Right, I'm just going to have a quick tidy up. What we want is we want something on the very back page. So we just want some kind of statement. Seen and noted. What have we used before? We don't want to live in the moment. Adventure awaits. Keep something blah blah blah. Scooby Dooby Doo bar. And remember, you can decorate all of the pages. Seen and noted, choose to shine, stay curious, lost and found. What have we got? Bigger words here, bigger statements. Lost and found, a lot of lost and founds. What else we got? Blessed are the curious. Love with all your heart. Brave, see the world. Look, here's the state of mind. Stop cropping up. Love with all your heart. Do what you love. And then maybe something like that. Just a couple of statements, you know, a bit like, don't put live, laugh, love on anything. Right, yeah, so let's do that. Peel that off, because you don't see these from the aperture, but they're just something for the finder, the viewer, to discover. and that's what it's about. So you don't forget to put things on the layers, because otherwise it's a bit boring. Now I'm not going to do a huge amount on my layers because, you know, I don't want the video to be 12 hours long. It's probably already quite lengthy as it is, but hopefully you've enjoyed it, given you a bit of inspiration. Great, like I say, great way to use up all of those pieces that you probably got. You've probably got more die cuts than you can shake a stick at. Always easier to get lines of text straight when there's a line of text to go by, isn't it? So those on there. So that's the background. That's this layer. And then what we'll do is we'll just vac this up, because I want to show you this again. Just remember, on my... Oh, I've just had some tea delivered. Because remember, my Amazon affiliate is on there if you want to buy it. But like, that's not bad. It picked up all those little bits. I don't quite know. I think you just... Does it just pop open? Oh, don't keep doing that. Oh, by the way, it charges. It's not batteries. It's charges. It's got a charging port here, and it does come apart. And I don't have the instructions. That's the problem. So I can't tell you how, but it does, because I did see it in the instructions. I just haven't needed to empty it yet. But yeah, it's fab and fun. That just clears your desk, doesn't it? Nice and easy. But look at this. Isn't that marvellous? So we've got this first layer. I love this. I really love it. I love it better than the other one. We've got this layer. You know, we can put other things on there, and you can put little scribe place spots and that sort of thing. The backs, I might cover in a bit of newspaper or, you know, book page, and then just cut out so that they're just fully book paged across the back. This one, this one, this one, and this one. I think that's amazing. I really love it. I know that seems very I'm not at all humble, am I? But I just love it. I think it's turned out amazing, and I've really enjoyed myself, and I hope you have too. And you know what, if you have, tell me you have by giving me a thumbs up, subscribing if you aren't already, and share it. Like, if I could turn back time, you can turn into share if you like, but share the video as well, and comment if you wish, and I will see you in another video. My name is Dash of Dave, and I love you all without exception, until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, folks. Lots of love. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you soon. Bye. Bye.